There was a first draft that Jocelyn had written, who had gotten the option of the book by Jim, whom she knew. So Jocelyn, and who is the originating producer of the film, and Rebecca O'Brien, who is like our ground on the ground producer from 16 Films, and then Michael Weber from the Match Factory, who is also a producer and also sales agent on the film. They sent it to me. They were looking for a director, so they sent it to me, and I read it. And in the beginning, I didn't understand why they would send, this film for me to direct. It was during the pandemic. I had plenty of time to also read the book. Very dense book, all from the point of view of Walt, all interior monologue. So we spent about a year, Jocelyn and I, discussing the film and restructuring it and trying to insert Walt as much as possible. I mean, it was difficult. It's all through his. It's a stream of words. Of this guy who basically is not present. So my challenge as a director and co-writer was to be able to make him be present through his absence. And then after a while, as I cast the film, I always finish the script after rehearsals. So Jocelyn it was extremely important to her too, for me as the director of the film, to make it my own. So she gave me her blessings as my co-writer, and there I went with my cast in Scotland, and we spent a couple of weeks rehearsing and playing around and living all together on location. And Ian Hassett, who was our script editor, basically transcribed the rehearsals, and then every night we would just sit down and update the script according to all of this great stuff that was happening with the cast as they were becoming their characters.
Athina was the thing that excited me most. It was a character. The end of the script, the end of the film ends in a certain way that I didn't know what to make of it. I didn't know what it meant for the character. And I think it was only after making the film that I kind of started to understand what that moment was. And now I look at it very differently than I did when we first met and I'd read the script. But the script was very strong. It was something bigger than myself. It relied on Walter and a certain kind of performance, perhaps, but it was bigger than that. It was. I likened it to these kinds of Altman films that had very big casts, and there were so many things going on, and so many little pieces to the puzzle. But what I liked so much was that all the characters were flawed. All the characters felt like real people, full of contradictions and hypocrisy, and from Walt, I kept wanting Walt to do things that he wasn't doing, and I didn't understand why he wouldn't do them. But myself, I can be quite a cowardly person in many ways, and I think that there was just something, but it was really Athina and watching Attenborough seeing this film and seeing that there was something that she was doing that I couldn't put my finger on, something that was, I realized I'd been kind of playing with myself but not really able to put a name to it or the kind of process it was. But Athina has this incredible ability to let the actors find things for themselves in real time. Most of the time you feel kind of squeezed into a box or into a certain kind of shape and you're suffocating for air in a kind of way. And with Athina I felt that there was going to be this sense of freedom. And I think I found that in the character as well. And through Walter's choices and the things that he sees and the things that happens, I think by the end of the film he does become free. I just didn't realize that while we were doing it.
And Athina, you said...
Yeah, he was actually... What are we doing, Athina? What are we doing? Who am I?
Yeah, lost beyond all.
I'm so lost. I'm so lost. And I was like, no, you're not. Trust me, you're not. So there was to me it was great actually for Walt's character, the fact that he always wanted to do more, because as an actor he's normally in characters who are like extremely present, and I call him maximalist actually. And I was like, no, in this one we're just gonna take all this energy and we're gonna make it implode. And he was imploding throughout the whole film.